There was a plant so good at preventing pregnancy that an entire ancient civilization harvested it into extinction. It's called silphium. The Romans and Greeks valued it so much they put its image on coins. Women drank it, used it, depended on it for over 600 years. And demand was so high, humans wiped it off the face of the earth before they could ever figure out how it actually worked. That's not a footnote in history. That's the first known birth control industry on Earth, collapsing from its own success. So how did ancient humans actually avoid pregnancy in a world with no pill, no condom, and no clinic? The biggest answer isn't a plant or a potion at all. It's biology most people have never heard of. Anthropologist Beverly Strassman spent years studying the Dogon people of Mali, one of the last populations on Earth still living without modern birth control. What she found reshapes everything we assume about ancient fertility. Hunter-gatherer women breastfed each child intensively for 2 to 3 years. That level of breastfeeding triggers a natural hormonal shutdown called lactational amenorrhea. It suppresses ovulation. For most of her adult life, an ancient woman's body was already preventing pregnancy simply by feeding the child she already had. This wasn't a strategy anyone designed. It was biology doing the job before anyone needed a plan. But it wasn't the only tool. Once humans started intentionally trying to prevent pregnancy, the historical record gets surprisingly specific. In ancient Egypt, the Ebers Papyrus, one of the oldest medical documents ever found, describes a pessary made from honey, acacia, and crocodile dung, inserted before intercourse as a barrier method. It sounds absurd until you look closer. Acacia ferments into lactic acid. Lactic acid is a spermicide. Modern science would later prove that ingredient worked, by accident, 3,500 years before anyone understood why. The Greeks went further. Physician Cyrannus of Ephesus prescribed herbs specifically to prevent conception, and that's where silphium enters the story. For 6 centuries across the Mediterranean, women drank its seeds as a monthly contraceptive. Scholars still don't fully understand the mechanism. One study found a related plant successfully prevented pregnancy in rats but failed in hamsters. The science is incomplete. What isn't incomplete is the demand. Silphium only grew in one region near Cyrene, in modern Libya. It could not be farmed anywhere else. And the world wanted so much of it, the entire species disappeared by the 2nd century. Across Africa, women used herbal preparations from plants like the baobab. In the Americas, indigenous communities used their own combination of herbs and physical barriers. Across nearly every ancient culture studied, the same pattern repeats. Women were not passive. They were experimenting, observing, and passing down reproductive knowledge for thousands of years before anyone wrote a word of it down. And there's something else modern people miss entirely. Some hunter-gatherer societies, studied by anthropologists even today, don't fully connect sex with pregnancy the way we assume. The link takes months to become obvious, and in cultures without our biological framework, that connection had to be taught, generation to generation, not simply known. So the picture is not primitive women guessing in the dark. It's breastfeeding doing more biological work than any of us were taught. It's lactic acid functioning as a spermicide before chemistry existed to explain it. It's a plant so effective, humanity loved it out of existence. The pill feels like a modern miracle. But the instinct behind it, control your own body, your own timing, your own fertility, is not modern at all. It's something women have been pursuing, with herbs, with biology, with whatever the world gave them, for thousands of years.